In the golden land, the quiet rain just kept on falling. It's raining over here too, bitch. In the arbor sat the sad witch whose eyes had lost their glint, and Battler. Virgilia could also be seen there. She sat next to Beato, knitting quietly. It's gonna be raining for like an entire week straight. Lambda Delta's game had passed the climax of the first twilight, and they were taking a short break. I thought it said they were taking a shot. Gazing out at the golden rose garden soaked with rain, Battler thought back on the present, what was to come, and what had happened so far. To Battler, thinking was itself a battle. Even with the game stopped, and Beato unable to speak, he could still keep on fighting. Virgilia suddenly stopped her knitting. Battler had noticed too. Though none should have been able to visit this rose garden, they had noticed a silhouette approaching. Maybe it's Renault? What the fuck? That silhouette, walking through the quietly falling rain without so much as an umbrella, was Delanor. Oh, word? Where's Virgilia from then? I'm noticing some of the words like they're differently, they have a different the word is slipping my mind. Font. They used the word fight, but it didn't sound like they meant anything unpleasant by it. It sounded like something old chess rivals would say to each other. Unlike Beato, it seemed that Virgilia had always acted properly and courteously. She had many friends in various other worlds, including both heaven and the demon world. Surprisingly, Delanor was one of them. Delanor, who had crossed swords with me just a short while ago, bowed her head as if to thank us for allowing her shelter from the sudden rain, and sat in the seat Virgilia pointed out, like a guest. Okay, so it was a peace battler, not, he said me in the shits. Is it really that good? I knew she was gonna do that shit with the eyes. As usual, Beato didn't answer. But if you quietly gave her a cup, she would sip it from time to time. There was still some black tea left in that cup, but it had already chilled. So Battler asked for a refill for Beato as well. He's being nice to her. I'm not really sure why though.
ですが、本来のこの世界の主です。そしてあなたはその主に招かれた正当な客人です。ですからこうしてご挨拶に参じました。
Wait, he just said that Lamb is the one controlling the peace Beato. So all that she is doing, all that she just did was Lamb's doing? Obviously to her benefit. On the game board, Beato and I met Zelano. But those were the game pieces of those witches. Okay, so those are completely under the control of Lamb and Burn. Alright. They don't have their own free will. They're being controlled. Again, the game pieces of those witches. They weren't Beato and me ourselves.
だからわざわざここまでバトラ君とベアトに挨拶に来てくれたのですか。相変わらず律儀な子ですね。
私の流儀です。はじめまして、ミスター・バトラー。
Oh, she's speaking English?
ドラノル・エ・ノックスと申します。
Delanor A. Knox. Is that supposed to mean something?
敵対する役ではありますが、よろしくお願いいたします。
おう、後ろ宮バトラー、よろしく頼むぞ。
はじめまして、ミス・ベアトリーチェ、ドラノール・エ・ノックスと申します。
Wow, how very polite. Introducing herself to everyone.
ベアトラー、お前に挨拶してるぜ。
She looks sad. You know what this... I'm not really sure. Am I supposed to feel pity for her? Because again, she's the reason my boy's here in the first place. But... Again, maybe I have to rewatch episode 4, their final confrontation. Because, I know what happened, right? She got hit with the wedge and she begged Battler to kill her. And he had this whole thing that he'll do it his way. But he's maybe I misjudged his personality. That's just how he is. He's a nice guy.
歓迎するとさ。
ありがとうございます、ミス・ベアトリーチェ。
The witch and the inquisitor, whose job it was to hunt witches, greeted each other around a tea table surrounded by the aroma of black tea. It was a strange sight. It is a funny sight. Oh, there it is, bitch. Virgilia made gold butterflies appear from the palms of her hands and transformed them into a teapot and a can of tea leaves. It was a very witch-like way of preparing tea. She was a witch, so it wasn't a particularly unusual sight. Though, I was a bit concerned about whether Delanor and the Inquisitor could allow herself to watch such a spectacle.
ご安心を。私は振る舞われる紅茶の立て方に口を挟むほど無粋ではありません。
魔法で紅茶を入れているのに
な。物陰に紅茶の道具があり、私たちに隠れてミセス・バルキリアが紅茶を入れている。それを魔法で入れたと私たちが解釈判断し、物語に記した。ノックス第9条でも認められる解釈です。
おやおや、9条の解釈は大法院でもタブー視されるほどのデリケートな問題のはず。私的発言とはいえ、首席異端審問官の発言と知られれば首が飛ぶかもしれませんね。
私がどのような解釈を記そうとも、ミセスの紅茶の味を何ら偽ることにはなりません。ですから私はその立て方を気にすることはないのです。
Though she looked cold, she was a surprisingly tactful person. If Delanor were to deny that the black tea had been prepared with magic, this magic would surely be crushed in an instant. However, even if it was depicted that a tea set existed here and Virgilia had used it to make the tea normally, the result that Virgilia had made tea would still remain unchanged.
結果を闇に閉ざす魔法は邪悪です。私たちは許さない。しかし 家庭を包む魔法は邪悪とは限りません。私の敵は邪悪であって魔法そのものではないのです。
なるほどな。紅茶のもてなしが出てくることが重要なんであって、その立て方についてどうこう突っ込まないのが客の礼儀ってのだ。
That's right. It's common courtesy to be grateful for tea that someone makes for you. There's nothing elegant about pushing your way into the kitchen and poking around through the tea-making process.
台所は客人を招く場所ではありません。そしてそこよりの配膳はもてなしの心で美しく飾られるべきです。どうぞ。暑いですよ。
ありがとうです。砂糖とミルクも欲しいです。
With tea?
まだストレートでは飲めませんか？
子供なので甘くないとダメです。
魔法ってのは優しい嘘なのか。
Huh.
嘘というと聞こえが悪いですね。日本語で表現する場合は就職と呼んだ方がよりふさわしいでしょう。
子供に飴を与えるとき、ポケットの中でぐしゃぐしゃになったのを出して与えるのと、素敵な手品を見せてそこから飴を出して与えたのでは、与える感情が全く違うはずです。
そりゃ手品でポンと飴を出された方がこじゃれてていいよな。
違います。飴を与えるという結果に対し、より美しく楽しい就職を与えたことに意味があるのです。
マリアちゃんに飴をあげるとき、ポケットから出して与えるのと、普段から良い子にしていたから妖精さんが持ってきてくれたと言って、こっそりポケットに忍ばせるのは全く違うという。
それを全員のアリバイを調べて、誰がポケットに忍ばせたのか調べ上げて確定するのは、私は無粋なことと思っています。飴を受け取り、少女が喜んだという結果こそが重要です。
Yeah, okay.
そして少女を喜ばせるために就職されたことが意味あることなのです。
意外だな。魔法と名がつけば全否定みたいな感じで登場しやがったの。
異端審問官としてはそう振る舞います。職務ですので。ですが職務を離れているときはそこまで冷酷になりたくありません。
勤務中は市場は持ち込まないってわけ。できるやつだ。
異端審問官として魔女を狩るのは仕事です。しかし一個人としては魔女を憐れんでいます。しかし異端審問官としては無慈悲に断罪します。
Wow. So she pities them, but she condemns them. Because she's
結
an
果におい
inquisitor.
て私は魔女たちを処刑するのに変わりはない。私の憐れみなど所詮は無駄な就職に過ぎません。あってもなくても何も変わらないならなくてもいい。
そんなことはありませんよ。結果が同じでも心が違えば大きく意味が異なることもあります。あなたの母が焼いたクッキーは優れたパティシエが作るクッキーよりきっと美味しかったはず。それは心が込められていることを知っているからですよ。
そうだな。結果が同じに見えても真心ってやつがあるかないかで意味は全然変わるかもしれないぜ。
Okay.
そうでしょうか。私の心などあってもなくても何の意味もない。
Dlanor's gaze fell to her cup, a little sadly.
なことはね。今の話を聞いて俺はお前の見方を少し変えたぞ。だから 心が無意味なんてことは絶対にねえ。
Virgilia was a little surprised to hear those words she should have said coming from Battler's mouth. After all, understanding the heart was the first step towards magic's true nature. Perhaps Battler was unconsciously starting to understand, bit by bit, the essence of Beato, the essence of witches, and the very first essence of all, the essence of magic. Whether you want to become a witch or vanquish them, the very first step is learning about magic. Virgilia was sure that she felt this faint change within Battler. My boy!
先ほどの戦いではありがとうございました。最後の最後に慈悲を与えてくれたこと感謝いたします。
俺は俺じゃねえぜ。ラムダデルタが操ってたんだ。
Really? I joined in on the 5th game, partway through. At this point in the story, I still hadn't joined. So up until the point when I did join, the piece me is probably being controlled by Burn or Lamb.
あいつらどういう気まぐれだろうな。妙にかっこよくしてくれやがって。あれじゃまるで俺がベアトを助けに来たナイト様みてえじゃないか。
Yeah, why did they do that?
ラムダデルタ教は魔女と人間のそれぞれが均衡しドローゲームとなることを望んでいます。エリカの登場により天秤が人間側に大きく傾いたのでベアトに加担するように物語を操ったのでしょう。
それは知っています。しかし駒はできないことはできない。そして本来の性格にふさわしい行為を得意とする。だからあれは確かにあなたのバトラの成し得たことです。
It's still crazy. My dude jumped out of a 3rd-story building.
だからあなたに感謝するのです。
何もしてねえのに褒められるってのは妙な気分だな。ゲームがもう少し進めば俺の駒も俺が操るようになるだろうよ。その時にも優しく手加減するかはわからねえぜ。
私も同じです。次に太刀を交える時は遅れは取りません。
上等だ。相手してやるぜ。全力で来い。
約束します。全力です。
Delanor. I thought she was an emotionless killer doll without a heart. But maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Though of course, neither of us will show any mercy when fighting on the game board. For a while, we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden as we quietly enjoyed our tea.
一つ謝らねばなりません。
And what is that? Delanor suddenly murmured something.
何がだ。さっきの戦いのことならもうノーサイドだぜ。
I feel like it might be something
お
big.
互い全力で戦ったろ。勝ち負けは時の運だぜ。
いいえ、時の運ではありません。それに任せられなかったから私は謝罪に訪れたのです。
何の話だ。
The fuck is going on here?
ということですね。
Virgilia spoke softly, without hesitating in her knitting. She threw the match.
ミスター・バトラー。
ミスターは軽いぜ。バトラでいい。
バトラー、謝罪します。私たちは全力ではありませんでした。
分かっていますよ。金蔵は全ゲーム開始時に死亡している。すでにベアトによって語られている真実です。あの戦いはバトラ君には引き分けに持ち込めれば上々。勝ち目は絶対にないはずの戦いでした。
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
そうだな。一言そう言われちまえばそれで終わってしまう戦いだ。なぜその赤を使わなかった。まさかステイルメイトだからとでも言うのか。
ノックス第2条。 探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。その赤き真実を私たちは直接使うことができません。しかし窓が幸運後に開かれたことはないという赤き真実を私は窓を守っていたコーネリアに持たせていました。
どうそいつでチェックメイトだ。どうしてあの姉ちゃんはその切り札を切らなかった？
Yeah, we would have been fucked if she would have said that. Maybe she was scared?
これは金形。我が赤が破れる道理はなし。そなたの望み叶うことなしと知りたまえ。
Though she had fought calmly up until that point, she quickly got flustered when I dashed forwards. I thought that she had been frightened by my sudden attack, but the truth was different. Even though she held a trump card which could completely repel me, she suddenly became unable to use it and hesitated.
わかりません。
Right, she used blue.
突然あの瞬間に切り札の使用が禁じられたのです。
Maybe maybe he has some. You know what? Is it because he's the
そ
head?
れを失った時点であなたの勝利は約束されました。
ゲームマスターラムダデルタ卿の干渉でしょう。
あいつね。結局あの戦いは全てラムダデルタの手のひらでの茶番
Right,
ってわけ。
and that. Okay, why would she apologize for that though?
俺たちはあいつの筋書き通りにお芝居をやらされたってわけだ。
不愉快とは思います。しかし全力で来いとおっしゃられたバトラにそれを打ち明けぬわけにはいきませんでした。許してください。
それでもあなたは切り札を失っても残されたカードで全力で戦いましたよ。あなたを非難など誰にできるでしょう。
そうだな。むしろ余計なことをしやがってラムダデルタを怒るべきだぜ。
金像が存在しないのはすでに確定事項のはず。ラムダデルタ卿もベルンカステル卿もそれをよくご存知のはずです。なのに2人とも金像が存在する余地を残してゲームを進めています。まるで2人で結託して金像を否定させないかのようです。
つまりじい様をわざと逃がしたと。
はい、何かの意図があるに違いありません。
確かに少しラムダデルタ卿とベルンカステル卿は魔女が優勢にならない限り対立する関係にあるはず。現在の流れでは2人が結託することは考えがたいのですが、
私には何か邪悪な目的があるように思えてなりません。それをお伝えしたくて私はここまで参りました。
お前そんなことのためにわざわざここまで来
She
た。
came here to warn us.
はい。ですので私はもう用事を終えました。これにて失礼しようと思います。ゲームもじきに再開するでしょう。エリカと今後のゲームを打ち合わせねばなりませんので。
Okay. Delanor gulped down the last of her black tea and stood
次
up.
は第二の番の戦いにて、そこにて私は再び無慈悲の太刀を振り上げるでしょう。
Damn, bitch, merciless.
ですからどうかバトラも私に慈悲などかけぬように。
わかってるぜ。手加減なんかしたらこっちの頭が叩き割られちまうぜ。
ゲーム版での私はベルンカステル卿の駒フルドエリカの手先も同然です。これからも敵として何度も立ちはだかるでしょう。しかし私の心は本来中立です。
Oh, she looks a little
い
sad.
や、忘れてください。そんなことはあなたと私の関係においては何の意味もない。
あるぜ。強敵であることは間違いないが、あんたはムカつきはしなくなった。エリカのやつは最高にムカつくよな。
よかった。私もフルドエリカにはムカついています。
I like her. Zelanor's expression finally softened slightly. At the very last moment, it felt as though we finally understood each other.
フルドエリカはとても邪悪な存在です。
But you're working with her.
先ほどの敗北で面目を潰され、復讐心に燃えたぎっています。何を企んでいるのか私にもわかりません。ですがろくなことのわけがない。注意してください。
ベルンカステルの困った時点で気を許す気はないぞ。
Everyone bullies her. Zelanor nodded as though satisfied, left the eaves of the arbor, and walked out into the rain. And disappeared in gold butterflies?
手先を務めることになろうとは。どうして私はこの世界に呼ばれたのか。
Zelanor let out a small sigh. Pieces can do nothing except fulfill the function they have been given. And that function is given to them by the one who controls them. She probably can't disobey Burncastle, the player in control of her.
呼んだのはベルンカステル教かもしれない。しかしこの世界を受け入れたのはベアトです。この子が望まなければあなたは迷路庭園を抜けここへは至れなかったのだからね、ベアト。
ミス・ベアトリーチェ、あなたは私に何を求められるのか。邪悪の手先としての私があなたの何かに答えられるならば幸いなのですが。
She spoke to Beato, but of course, there was no response. After bowing once more in thanks for the black tea, Zelanor disappeared off into the rainy rose garden.
この黄金鏡にはベアトが望まない限り誰もたどり着けないのか。
ええ、ドラノールをここへ呼んだのはこの子なのですよ。
So, when my boy came here, he was invited, kind of? Or accepted?
ベアトがあいつをここへ呼び俺に会わせたのか。
But I know of a person who reached this place despite Beato's wishes. Yes, this is what I'm saying. Angie. In the last game, Angie reached this place by herself, even though she was an uninvited guest. Was that also something Beato desired? I don't know.
ここに私がいて、あなたがいることも、ベアトがいることも、そしてドラノールが招かれたことも、すべてはこの子が望んだことなのです。ドラノールとあなたが過ごしたこのささやかな紅茶の時間さえも。
ベアト、俺があいつから何を知れというんだ。それがお前の心臓を探し出し安らかに眠らせることと関係があるのか。
Zelanor Knox, the natural enemy of witches, Inquisitor, a vanguard of mystery who denies fantasy. Is she here to help me gouge out your heart and arrest your breathing?
"立ってください。片足で。"
Uh-oh. Cornelia slowly got up and stood on one leg as she had been ordered. Her hands were clasped behind her back, because she had been ordered to do so. Then, with a loud thump, Erica shoved her from behind with both hands. Oh, what? She's bullying Cornelia? Cornelia landed on the floor, face first, with a thud.
立ってください。片足で。
What? What? She's sadistic. Cornelia rose shakily. Then once again she stood up on one leg as she had been ordered. She had been ordered not to try to keep her balance, so she had fallen on her face over and over again. What? She's so mean. She had barely managed to protect her nose, but after smashing against the floor so many times, her face was bright red. She wasn't shedding any tears. No, she couldn't shed them, because she was forbidden to do even that.
立ってください。片足で。
Wow. She's so mean, dude. She's bullying her. Thump thud.
立ってください。片足で。
Thump thud. Erica repeated this falling torture over and over again. Dude, she is such a bully. At times like she's so angry, she's so frustrated. At times like this, Erica hated counting things. So she decided that when she ran out of fingers to keep counting on, she would just keep on going until she lost interest. However, Erica's main redeeming feature was that she never lost interest in anything. So the torture continued on without end. Erica didn't know the truth on why Cornelia had been unable to fully protect the window. So the whole time since then, she had been criticizing her, blaming her entirely for their defeat.
緊急謹んで申し上げててまつコーネリアの咎を許したまえすでに彼女の咎のみそぎには十分なり。
ああ、そうですか。ではここからはあなたが変わってください。ガートルードに咎はなきなりや。ガートルード、立ってください。片足で、両手は後ろで組み。
She's doing it! Gertrude followed the order and clasped her hands behind her back, standing on one leg.
踏みとどまってはダメですよ。膝を折ることも許しません。涙をこぼすことも許しません。いいですね。
御意。
ガートルード。
Wow, man. She's using them. Erica took her time walking behind Gertrude. She was even enjoying making her wonder when she'd push. Wow, even that? Everything. At that moment, Gertrude and Cornelia burst in a bright light and disappeared. Zelanor had returned at some point and had sent them back to heaven for the time being. Erica, who'd had her fun spoiled, directed an openly malicious expression at Zelanor.
ミス・エリカ、我が部下の咎は上司の私が背負います。どうか部下をお許しください。
Wow, okay.
お仕置きってのは苦痛を与えるから意味があるんです。傷一つつかない無痛覚の人形女など面白くもなんともありません。
Erica slowly grabbed hold of the back of Zelanor's hair and tugged on it unrelentingly. Zelanor's neck tilted unnaturally backwards, creaking.
傷はつきませんが、傷つきはします。あんたに傷つく心なんてあるわけもないです。
魔女狩り殺人人形の分際で私に口答えする気ですか。大ベルンカステル教の使者にして分身のこの私に。
Holy shit. She has a little bit of an ego, doesn't she?
あんたらが使えないから私がベルンカステル教にお叱りを受けるんです。
Dude, notice her voice? She got all of a sudden very demanding.
二度と無様な真似は見せないでください。
She's showing such her voice got deeper.
いいですね。
She pulled back the hair she had grabbed even more strongly. This didn't cause Zelanor any physical pain, but she could clearly feel Erica's ill will.
失礼しました。お許しください。
クズか。
With a sound like taut string snapping, she ripped out several strands of Zelanor's hair. Then, Erica waved her hand about as though trying to shake off something dirty that had gotten stuck to it.
まあ、いいです。これで終わりにします。ようやく私の怒りも収まり、灰色の脳細胞がうずいてきましたから。 あの使えない2人を呼び戻して現場の再構築をしてください。推理ゲームを始めましょう。わかりました。ガートルード、コーネリア。
よい。
The two of them reappeared behind Delanola and reconstructed the crime scene for Erica, the one who had just been tormenting them.
金蔵の失踪なんて第一の晩のおまけでしかありません。さあ、第一の晩の検証を始めましょう。とその前に、実は私たちは殺人事件の発生以前から一つの謎を突きつけられていることをご存知ですか？はい、昨夜の24時に何者かのノックによって現れた片翼のわしの刻まれた手紙です。そうです。一見物語はその瞬間に人間の誰にも不可能であったと語り、未知の魔女が存在しているかのような幻想を作り出しています。まずはこの魔女幻想を叩き潰すことから始めましょう。手紙が届けられた昨晩の食堂の状況から確認していきます。了解です。ガートルード、コーネリア、昨晩の食堂の親族会議の再構築。よい。
The family conference last night was conducted with the adult relatives and battler present. And partway through, the servants arrived to serve tea. Yup.
手紙が現れた瞬間の全員の立ち位置を確認しましょうか。どうなってましたっけ？
近世謹んで申し上げる。親族会議以前、エリカ、ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、ナンジャ、ゴーダ、クマサワは屋敷より退出し、ゲストハウスへ移動したものの。
Okay, everyone was
近
gone.
世謹んで申し上げる。残りはクラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジの3人のみが2階廊下におり、
Okay, so Kraus, Natsuki, and Genji were the only ones
そ
not
れ以
here?
外の全員は食堂におりしこみ申し上げたてまつる。屋敷は親族会議に先んじて全て施錠されていたため、それ以外の人間は屋敷に入ることができません。おやおや、それでは屋敷内の誰にも食堂の扉をノックして手紙を置くことはできないということになりますね。そうなります。その人物こそが手紙を記した魔女ベアトリーチェであるとの魔女側の主張でしょう。バカバカしい、くだらないトリックです。手紙が24時の瞬間に置かれた保証はありません。それ以前にもう置かれていたと考えるのが常識的です。手紙が発見されるほんの数分前にシャノンとカノンは9時になります。2人を迎え入れる際、廊下に手紙などの不審物が一切なかったことを複数が確認しています。100万人当たったクラウス、ナツヒ、ゲンジのうちの誰かがその直後に隙を見て手紙を置いただけのことでしょう。いえいえ、ゲストハウスにいたはずの人物でも可能です。屋敷は施錠され、外部の人間は入れなかったそうですが、ゲストハウスに戻ったふりをして屋敷内にこっそりと隠れていた人間がいたなら、その人物が手紙を置いたとしても何ら問題はありません。
Man, why would they do that though? But no, I understand. I'm only just saying that just to say that.
となると問題はノックです。手紙と違い、ノックの瞬間にその場に存在しなくてはなりません。なるほど、それこそが魔女という名のいないはずの人物が存在する。
They could just play a recording.
実にバカバカしいにも程があります。その程度でこのクルドエリカが屈服するとでも。
Maybe, dude, they said they were on the second floor, right? What if they were just walking and it creaked, and the creak, they thought it was knocking?
まずノックが確かに食堂の扉を叩いたものなのか疑えます。
That's right. Also, it's thundering. Did you hear that thunder?
例えばですが、屋敷の構造上2階の特定の柱を叩くと音が柱を伝わり、
Yes,
食堂
yes.
の人間はあたかも扉をノックされたかのように誤認してしまうとか、あるいは偶然何かの音をノックと聞き間違え同様に誤認してしまうとか、
Yes, it could just be the fucking the mansion shifting, the wood, the house
ある
settling.
いはノック音を録音したテープがこっそり再生されていて、
Yes. Yes, I just said that. A recording.
で聞こえるように細工されていたのかもしれない。いずれにせよ扉の向こうに誰もいなくてもノックを聞かせる方法なんていくらでも考えられます。いかがです我が主、我が正義。
She seems very proud of
だそう
herself.
だけどいかが。ベルの可愛い子なの。精一杯頑張って考えた青き真実みたいだから気前よく赤き真実をサービスしちゃおうかしら。
Oh, really? Okay, she's finally gonna do it.
まずは手紙からいこうかしら。24時の大時計の鐘の時に鳴ったノック。そして扉を開けたらそこに置かれていた片翼の端の封筒の手紙。100万人いなかった人間がこっそりと廊下に置いていったのだろうという想像は実に王道よね。クラウス、ナツキ、ゲンジの3人はその手紙に触れてさえいない。
へえ。
That was a weak red. That was a very weak red.
扉を閉じる瞬間に最後に食堂に入った最後尾の人間は誰？
Because they could wear gloves, or they can use they can have talons, right? Like not like actual like claw talons. Like I mean, like you used to cook or whatever the fuck, and they can pick it up. They wouldn't be touching it. So we can fight that. We can get down to the particulars, I guess.
例えばカノン。最後尾のカノンが扉を閉めるときにこっそりポトリと手紙を落とせば簡単じゃない。
食堂の全員の誰も、いえ、もっとシンプルな言い方をするわ。24時の時点で屋敷内にいた誰かとあの手紙を廊下に置いた者はいない。
触れたもの
Wow,
は
okay.
という言い方はできないわけ。
そりゃそうでしょ。彼らは拾って触れたわ。触れてないとまでは言えるわけない。
なるほど。じゃあこういう解釈だわ。24時の時点で屋敷外に存在した何者かがあらかじめ手紙を廊下以外の場所に置いたの。そして何らかの方法でそれが移動して
Are you fucking serious? Holy shit! I know listen. I know they sometimes say some dumbass shit, but wow, man, this really fucking I've never heard them say anything more absolutely fucking ridiculous, and this is illogical. The letter was someone who existed outside of the mansion at midnight placed the letter somewhere other than the hallway. Then it moved by some means and ended up placed in the hallway. Holy shit!
例えば使用人たちが押してきた
Yo, whoa.
お茶の道具を積んだ配膳車の壁の裏側に貼り付けられていたとか。
Oh my god, man. We fucking lost it, dude. We could just say anything at this point. Anything will be valid. Legit, I'm not even fucking joking. Hold on, I'm not even reading this. Let me read it. It's on the side of the serving cart. Okay, that's easy. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess. Which the servants wheeled into the room. It was simply affixed there in a way that would make it come unstuck after a certain amount of time. Or maybe with a little bit. Because I would usually when you enter a room, right, there's like a little bit of a level change, like a little bit of a bump maybe. So maybe with that bump, it was like very loosely taped there to where once it hit that level change, it would just fall down. Okay.
それはやがて剥がれ落ちて存在しないはずの魔女が置いていった手紙となる。つまり時間差で 手紙が現れるようにすることで、真の差出人がその時刻にアリバイを作ろうとする古典的トリックです。
金形、青き真実、
ちょうど都合よく食堂の扉の前に落ちたのは犯人にとって幸運だっただけということ。下手をすればそこは厨房か廊下か、はたまた食堂の中だったかもしれません。ああ、ビビった。食堂の中ならば随分と素敵ですね。全員の監視の中、突然床に手紙が現れる。食堂という密室に忽然とその場の誰も触れていないという赤を維持したまま。
Wow, yeah, that would have been worse for us.
お見事です。配膳者の壁に手紙を貼り付ける行為なら誰が犯人でも可能です。手紙についてはまずね。でもそれと同じ論法がロックについても。
Listen, there's many things. It could just be the house settling on its own simply, and you could misinterpret that for a knock. I mean, this is a 3-story building. This shit is big as fuck. And it's also a little old at this point, right? Well, I guess in human years, it's probably like, what? I don't know. Around 50 years old? I really don't know. I actually forgot. Or it could just be the people you said. I mean, they said that there's some people in the 2nd-story building, so they could just be walking around and again causing the wood to move.
同じやり取りをしようかしら。
どうぞ。
クラウス、ナツキ、ゲンジの3人はノックをしていない。これは扉だけはノックしていないという限定的な意味じゃないわよ。音が伝わる柱だろうと、録音したカセットテープの再生ボタンだろうと、そのノック音を生み出したことは。
Listen, my blue truth is still valid. Them just walking around.
無論直接的にも間接的にも意図的にも偶発的にも無意識的にもね。
So basically she's saying, she could have just said this. They have absolutely nothing to do with the knocking. Is my blue truth still valid? She said indirect, so maybe not.
すでにくさびを打ってるけど繰り返すの。クラウス、ナツキ、ゲンジたち3人以外の誰かがね。あるいはノックと誤認させる音を発生させたのかもしれない。
Ah. Okay.
謹んで申し上げたてまつる。25時の時点で2階廊下にいたクラウス、ナツキ、ゲンジの3人と食堂にいた全員以外の一切の人間は屋敷内に存在しなかったのね。申し上げたてまつる。
金形、謹んで申し上げる。クラウス、ナツキ、ゲンジの3人に加え食堂の全員のもとノックしていないこと申し上げる。このノックとはノック音を生み出す直接的、間接的、意図的、無意識的、偶発的な全てを含めるものなの。
Okay, I mean, this is pretty much, I mean, you, listen, they said all direct, indirect, intentional, unintentional, and coincidental. I mean, we're just fucked. We can't argue with that. A direct knock refers to someone literally hitting a door to make a knocking sound. An intentional knock refers to someone creating a fake knocking sound with intent to make it appear that someone knocked. An unintentional knock refers to someone unintentionally creating a fake knocking sound. A coincidental knock refers to some kind of coincidence, creating a fake knocking sound. Okay, so my blue truth is invalid now.
ノック音の発生源とはなり得ないという意味です。そしてこの全員の手は誰も把握していない観測されていない人物であったとしても含めます。
You know what? I actually have a way to defeat this. Here, I'm gonna spell it out for you guys. In 4, it's just gonna take 4 letters. B-I-R-D. Simply put, a bird, I don't know, maybe 2 birds came in, they hit the fucking window, they crashed into that shit. I've heard it. I've heard of shit like that happening. Or maybe they just came, they pecked on it, they pecked on the wood of the window. I don't fucking know. And that sound could be heard through the small space from between the window to the door, and they mistook it as a fucking knock. I'm just gonna say, bitch. Shit. Anyone who was in the mansion also includes any unknown person X who was secretly hiding in the mansion. Therefore, this literally meant that it was impossible for anyone inside the mansion to knock with no wordplay allowed.
なるほど。どうひっくり返そうとも、いわゆるゲストハウス組にしかノックオンの生成は不可能というわけですね。例えば、私。このクリドエリカがカセットテープにノックオンを録音し、それをどこかにこっそり仕掛け、ちょうど24時頃に再生されるような仕掛けを施したなら、もちろん24時の時点では屋敷にはいないわけです。これなら何も問題ないじゃないですか。
問題ないです。しかし扉の前に手紙があればこそノックでその存在を教えるきっかけとなりますが、もし厨房などに手紙が落下していたらノックは手紙の存在を教えるものにはならなかったように思います。
If the trick in Erica's theory about the letter being stuck to the serving cart was accurate, then the location that the letter fell was a matter of luck. The people in the dining hall were able to notice it due to the knock only because it had fortunately fallen near the door. However, if the location it fell was a matter of chance, it might have landed in the far-off kitchen, or even remained stuck the entire time. If that had happened, the knock would have been ignored as though they just imagined it. In other words, the knock itself carries no message at all. Only in combination with the letter is the knock capable of asserting that someone existed there. In that case, the knock can't be combined with the theory that the letter falling from the bottom of the serving cart at a random location. The letter must be reliably positioned on the other side of the door so that it can be discovered thanks to the knock. However, it was declared in red that no one in the mansion placed the letter in the hallway.
この廊下に置いたという赤ももっと細かく言い直すわ。屋敷内の誰か手紙を廊下に置いた者はいない。それは直接的、間接的、意図的、偶発的、無意識的、全ての概念だよ。
Okay, so we're fucked again.
例えば配電車に停車すると手紙が落ちるという仕掛けがあったと仮定する。これならば食堂の扉でノックするために一度停車するだろうことを事前に予見できるから、うまいこと扉の前に手紙を落とせるように思えるかもしれない。しかしこれもダメなのよ。配電車を停車させることが廊下に手紙を置くという行為を間接的に示している。よってこれでは台車を押していたシャノンとカノンが間接的に無意識に置いたことになってしまう。だからこれもダメ。さらに言うと時間が経てば剥がれて落ちる仕掛けもそこまで配電車を押した人間によって偶発的に無意識に置いたことになってしまう。もちろんこれもダメ。
復唱要求。
Oh god, we are so
24時の
fucked.
時点で屋敷以外に存在するのはエリカ、ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、ナンジー、ゴーダン、熊沢のみである。
Say, if someone in the dining hall slipped out the window just for the instant of midnight and didn't exist in the mansion at that time. Wait a minute. If someone in the dining hall slipped out the window just for the instant of midnight and didn't exist in the mansion at that time, with a bit of wordplay like that, it might be possible to get around the red truth.
復唱要求？気前よく赤をサービスしてるからってちょっと欲張りすぎじゃない？私ペアトみたいにバカじゃないから相手の求める復唱にペラペラ答えたりなんかしないわよ。
今度お風呂でマシュマロとコンペイトーのスクラブで全身マッサージしてあげるわ。
Huh?
生皮剥げるくらいにゴリゴリと。
絶対よ、約束だからね、ジュルリー。じゃあいいわ、サービスしちゃう。復唱要求に答えるわ。24時の時点で屋敷以外に存在するのはエリカ、ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、南條、ボーダ、熊沢のみである。
In other words, try as we might, those 8 people, including Erica, cannot exist inside the mansion, much less in front of the door. And at the same time, try as we might, those who are inside the mansion cannot exist outside the mansion.
なら配膳者の廊下の天井に手紙を貼り付けてあったのかもしれません。廊下の天井は案外高いから堂々と貼り付けてあっても誰も気づかないかもしれない。これなら廊下に落ちるのは確定的。そしてそれを屋敷外の人物が行ったなら赤も潜れる。グッと私
金慶謹んで申し上げる。廊下天井に手紙が存在したことはなきまで。
金家謹んで申し上げる。配膳者に手紙が触れたことはなきと知りたまえ。知らないです、そんなこと。とにかく屋敷以外の人間が何かのトリックであそこに手紙を置いてみせたんです。あの手紙とノックでベアトリーチェを存在させようなどという目論見はこのフルドエリカには断じて通用しません。
金慶謹んで申し上げる。屋敷以外の全員は親族会議開始に屋敷内にて何を行うことも不可能に。
じゃあ親族会議以前に屋敷以外の何者かが何らかの仕掛けを施したのよ。天井と配膳者以外でです。金系青く真実向こうなりや。なんでですか。それしかないでしょ。天井と配膳者以外の何かに屋敷以外の誰かが何か仕掛けをしたのよ。金家その何かを特定もしくは仮定せぬ限り青く真実とは認められぬものなり。
Oh fuck, they want exactly?
手紙についてのエリカ教の青き真実すべて失われたものなの。
すべて失われたです。言い方にもう少し気を使ってください。使えない家具の皆さん、
Okay.
その仕掛けを思いつきさえすれば即座にチェックメイトなんです。それをすべて失われた。この探偵フルドエリカによくもそんな口を。
Erica's face twisted. These words that seemed to deny Erica, no, Erica's deductions, were the worst form of torture and humiliation for her.
ミスエリカ、手紙の謎は一度保留してはいかがです。ノックの推理、屋敷以外の何者かがカセットテープなどで聞かせたとする青き鎖は未だに有効です。音が可能なら手紙もまた不可能ではないはず。
As Erica made to grab and pull Gertrude's hair, Zelanor stopped her with those words.
そうです。ノックについては私の青き真実未だ有効なはずです。全てを否定されてなんていません。我が主、手紙の謎は必ずや解いてみせます。お時間の猶予をお許しください。しかしノックの謎については確かにここに屋敷以外の人物がカセットテープなどでノック音を聞かせる仕掛けを施したとする青きくさびでうがちました。本当に可愛い子ね、ペルンのコマは。本当にけなげだわ。とりあえず2つの謎のうち1つは高3だけど1つは解けたからお許しをって叫んでる。どうする？許してあげる？
そうね。私の駒の分際で降参なんて恥さらし絶対に許せないところだけど、一つは解いてみせたのなら今回は多めに見てあげようかしら。
我が主。
When Berncastel said she'd let it slide, Erica couldn't hide her relief.
じゃあお仕置きだわ、エリカちゃん。すべての人物はノック音を誤認することはない。
Okay.
何それ。
ノック音を誤認しないということはつまりノック音によく似た他の音をノック音と勘違いしたりはしないということよ。柱を叩くとノックに似た音がするなんてのもアウト。ノック音をカセットテープに録音したとしてもそれはもはやノ ノック音を録音したテープの音であってノック音ではない。だからこれもアウト。つまり実際にあの扉を叩いたノック音を全員は正確に識別し、絶対に聞き間違いないということよ。あの扉を直接叩く以外のあらゆる音をノックと誤解することは絶対にありえないということ。
Listen, I still think my bird shit is valid.
それじゃあ、あの24時の鐘の音の時、扉を叩ける人物が存在しないことになるじゃありませんか。そうよ、存在しないわよ。だって黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが叩いたんだもの。つまりあの扉を叩く以外ごまかしようはないってことね。ならこういうのはどう？扉をノックしてくれる何かの仕掛けとか自動のドアノッカーみたいな仕掛けがあって、それに
Automatic door? What is that? What is that? Dude, Bird is saying some wild, crazy, weird shit.
仕掛けで叩いたなんて認めないわ。24時の鐘の時にノックが聞こえたわ。その時食堂の人物全員が確かにそれを聞いたわ。そして彼らは誰もノック音を誤認しない。クラウス、ナツキ、ゲンジの3人はノックに関わっている。それ以外の人物は誰も屋敷内に存在もしない。そしてノックは直接扉の前に立ち手で扉を叩く行為を指す。ねえベル、どう？私の赤はまだ第一の晩以前なのになかなかシンプルで遊びがいがあるでしょ。黄金の魔女はノックの音とともに静かに降臨。
Yeah, I think we are. I don't really know how you can argue against this.
面白いわ。本当に面白いわ、ラムダ。こうでなくっちゃ。ああ、面白い。
The two witches doubled over laughing, as though this was the most fun thing in the world.
若主、ご安心よ。その程度の赤、我が灰色の脳細胞は時間さえ与えられれば必ずや答えを導き出してみせます。あら、ありがとう。そして失望だよ、エリカ。退屈だよ、エリカ。この私の
Oh shit.
分身のあなたにもお手上げなんて本当に情けなくて笑えるわ。わからないならいつまでも沈黙しててちょうだい。そして分かった時だけ口を開いてちょうだい。あんたなんて所詮は子がいてもいなくても私がゲームを進めるには支障がないのだから。
Dude, she is so mean.
が思いつかないならおとなしく駒置き場にでも戻って埃をかぶっててちょうだい。使えない駒は記憶に留めるのも苦痛だわ。
Why is she so mean?
ゲイリンは忘れっぽいからね。あんたもうちょっと頑張らないとゲイリンを忘れられちゃうわよ。忘却の駒置き場で永遠に埃にまみれながら決して来ぬ出番を待つのってとっても辛いと思うけれど。ご安心よ、ダイダムタデルタ卿、そして我が主。必ずやお気に入りいただくことができるよう二度と失望させる活躍を約束いたします。
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
あ、さすがは私の分身よ。頼もしいわ。なら本当に頑張ってね、いろいろ。あまり活躍がないと私、あなたのこと忘れちゃうかもしれないんだから。
As the two witches giggled, they continued discussing the letter and the knock. There was no room for Erica to step in. If she resigned herself to that, she would literally have no place to go, and would be buried in an eternal oblivion. Erica endured with a hideous expression, looking with shame at the back of the master who was ignoring her. And with both fists clenched, she thought frantically for some kind of breakthrough. I am the detective. I am Furudo Erica. I am the peace and double and servant of the great lady Burn Castell. I'll definitely make her satisfied. Satisfied. Definitely. God. Whatever. Ushiromiya battler. How dare you humiliate me so? As she stood there, ignored by the witches and shrouded in the darkness. It looked like she had been made to go stand on her own in the hallway. I still think the bird shit I came up with is good. I don't know. I mean, it could be possible. With the crime in the early morning, we'd completely forgotten about breakfast. So we now had our first meal of the day at the time that could never be called breakfast time. Even Golda-san's wonderful meal, which had supposedly been in the works since yesterday night, provided no comfort. The several empty seats quietly burdened us with a pain-filled sadness. Then, in the middle of this meal that felt like a vigil, Erica suddenly stood up. Everyone focused on her to see what was the matter. Her expression was somewhere on the line between invigorated and insane, as though she'd come up with some groundbreaking and strange intervention.
どうした？大丈夫か？
わかりました。私にわからないとお思いですか？わかりましたわ。そんなバカなことあるわけがない。
With an ugly expression, covered with cold sweat, Erica glared and lashed out at Battler.
わかったって。何が？
あなたが3階の書斎から飛び降りられるわけなんかないじゃないですか。私たちは誰一人あんたが飛び降り中庭に着地したところなんて見てないんですから。あなたは中庭からはしごをかけて3階の窓にルドルフさんが登るのを見ていた時、その外壁の構造をよく観察し、雨どいなどをうまく伝えば3階の窓から中庭に降りることは不可能じゃないと気づいたんです。あなたは飛び降りてなんかいない。雨どいなどを伝え、みっともなく外壁を這い降りたんです。どうです？私の青き真実は。さあ、反論は？
Dude, she's so pissed.
反論って？
反論はない。ならば、私の真実は有効ですね。
Look at her. She's so frantic for it. I'm telling you.
飛び降りたように見えたのは全て幻想。
She's so fucking charged up.
つけて飛び出し、雨どいにしがみついただけなんです。
She's crying.
あの時の論点は、じいさまが書斎を脱出可能だったかどうか。そして、じいさまは窓から抜け出すことも可能だった。俺はそれを証明しただけだぜ。飛び降りようが這い降りようが、それは変わらねえはずだがな。
はぐらかさないでください。人間風情が3階から飛び降りられるはずがないんです。それ見たことか。いかがです、我が主、我が推理。
お前疲れてんの？飯ぐらいついてくれよ。
Dude, she's freaking out in the middle of breakfast. When he escaped to the courtyard through the window, Battler really did use the rain gutter to crawl down the wall, just like Erica said. Oh, here it is, bitch! It's right here. His hand slipped halfway, and he fell from a considerable height. But he managed to land on his feet without injuring himself. I hope he bent his knees. He bended his knees. I hope he did. If he didn't, his fucking knees are gonna get fucked. No one witnessed this, but most likely everyone except Erica, currently in the dining hall, had realized that something like this had happened. No one had believed that he'd jumped down from the third floor window in the first place, even if they hadn't witnessed it directly. So they had no clue what Erica was complaining about and obsessing over all of a sudden. and started to whisper, glancing at her with cold eyes and dubious faces.
反論できないでしょ。あなたの飛び降りは否定された。
Yes, they don't know the bigger picture, what's going on.
真実が勝ったんです。私の青き真実は有効です。我が主、それをどうかお認めください。私は無能ではありません。失望もさせません。必ずやこのようにご期待に応えてみせますから、どうかお見捨てにならないでください。我が主。
Facing someone that might have been somewhere beyond the ceiling, Erica spread her arms and yelled. Then, as if in an answer, a massive lightning bolt landed very close by. It was an incredible sound. They could even feel the earth shake. At the same time as that sound, Erica went limp, falling into her seat like a puppet who had just had all its strings cut. Then, as the sound of wind and rain gradually filled the room once again, Erica slowly opened her eyes as though recovering from a bout of dizziness. Then, she continued eating in silence as though nothing had happened, as if she had been acting normally the whole time. Didn't Erica just stand up suddenly and rant at someone? Erica continued eating quietly, her behavior so perfectly normal that everyone started to doubt themselves. After seeing her behaving so calmly, everyone convinced themselves that they were totally worn out, and that they must have just hallucinated Erica suddenly yelling. So Erica's sudden transfiguration of a few seconds ago was treated as a daydream, and faded out of everyone's memory. Erica quietly poked at her salad and muttered in a voice no one could hear.
ありがとうございます。大ベルカス鉄橋。我こそはフルデエリカ。我が主の駒にして分身。必ずやあなたのために最高の物語を献上してご覧に入れます。そうそう。やっぱりナイフとフォークって食器として原始的ですよね。お箸が一番です。サラダを最も食べやすいのはお箸だとは思いませんかね、皆さん。午前3時にバトラさんがゲストハウスに戻られて、その後30分くらいで皆さんが解散されたんですね。ええ、そうよ。いい加減眠くなってきて、一眠りしてから仕切り直そうってことになったのよ。
To smoke out the murderer of the first twilight, Erica closely questioned everyone involved to check their alibis and evidence. To confirm these, she went around the mansion with them, and when needed, took several trips out to the guest house through all the rain. Her vitality was admirable, though she was an uninvited guest. Everyone had long since stopped feeling anything strange about the way she imitated a detective. Oh, really? So they're just going along with it. Okay. I guess they all got used to her shit. In just one day, they got used to her shit.
無駄なことよ。アリバイがあろうとなかろうと、わらわたちの存在を否定することなどできぬわ。金蔵は窓より逃れ、今や六軒島の霞よ。決して捉えることも否定することもできぬ。さしずめ、チェス盤の裏側にでも逃げ込んだとでも言えばいいのかしら。
その場合はしまい込んだというのが適当でしょうな。
そういえば
Stored away.
例の第一の番
They love using chess analogies.
同じくしまい込んだのであったな。ええ、異界と人間界の狭間の私の暗黒にしまってあるわ。
So she has like her own dimension?
あの探偵気取りに見つけられることはあるまいな。当然よ。人間には絶対不可能だわ。確認する？ 念のためな。そしてわらわたちも今後のベルンカステル教の狙いを今一度読み直す必要があろう。
敵を知れば百戦も危うからずですな。
真に知れば百戦も戦わずに勝てるわ。
いやいや、まったく。
Gap opened up a large pitch black hole in the sky and had it swallow all of them up. Oh, okay. She invited Beato and Renov to the gap between... Oh, wait. Is that what she's called, Gap? To the gap between worlds where she had hidden the corpses. Okay. That place was nowhere in this world and existed at no time of this world. In other words, it truly and literally was a place not of this world. In this place, questions such as where is this and what time is it had no meaning, okay? Every single place led to here, but no place could be reached from here. Furthermore, all times connected to this place, but no time could be passed to from here? It's crazy. In short, this place was just what they said it was, an underside of the chessboard. No, perhaps it would be most appropriate to call this the captured pile, or pieces that have left the game go. Okay, so we're in a different dimension. Then, deep within this pitch black world, 5 corpses came into view, illuminated by a glow like a faint spotlight. Are we gonna see them? The 5 pitiful corpses, with their necks sliced open, had been arranged neatly. Their eyelids were shut, and their hands joined. Apparently, even Gap had respect for the dead.
おや、今回のゲームの第一の番の犠牲者は5人なのですか？6人ではなく。おお、お師匠様ではないか。どこへ行っていたやら心配したのだぞ。ゲームはもう第一の番を迎えて、ご覧の通り最初の犠牲者が出ておるわ。さあ、いよいよだ。ワクワクしてきたぞ。そうですか。ここのあなたは元気そうですね。何よりです。ん？わらわは元気と魅惑なボディ。あと気立ての良さくらいしか取り柄がないぞ。
This ain't the first time she's talked about her body. For some reason, Virgilia praised Beato for her high spirits. Why? Oh wait, I know why. Though Beato was taken aback at such granny-like words coming out of Virgilia's mouth all of a sudden, she answered while bumping a fist against her chest. Virgilia had been absent often during this game. She might even have been away from her seat when battlers solved the epitaph and during the uproar that followed. Apparently, she had been absent for so many critical points that she didn't have a very good grasp of what had happened so far in this game.
今のところ出ている死体は5人。見ての通り、首をすっぱりよ。
There it is, bitch, my boy George. Wait a minute. Can't really see it though, it's covered by this. George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, Genji. Something sharp had sliced open all 5 of their necks. Those gaping wounds opened wider than their mouths, and made it feel as though they would no longer need their mouths to breathe.
なるほど。ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジの死体は誰が見ても一目で死亡が確認できるというわけですね。ん？赤か。まあ、お師匠様にケチっても始まらぬ。そうとも、死んだふりなど絶対にありえぬ。誰もが一目で死亡を確認できる死体であるわ。なぜリーヤは赤を？
さて、しかし常にお嬢様のことを思われている方です。お嬢様に利する何らかのお考えがあってのことでしょう。
But they had hidden the corpses here so that no one could use the red. Despite that, however, Renov was right. Virgilia always thought of Beatrice first. The way that these corpses, which Gap had gone to all the trouble of erasing, had now been confirmed with the red, made a slightly displeased expression rise to Gap's face. However, in the end, she remembered that she was only a guest and shrugged.
なぜガープに死体を隠させたのですか？今回のわらわのゲームはすでに碑文が解かれているため普段とは変わっておる。今は夏日に仕え、夏日を守ることを目的にしているのだ。
Then what's up with the killings? I mean, she didn't do them, right? She said she didn't.
彼らの死体を隠蔽することがどう夏日を守るのです？
向こうの手は大体読めてるの。多分これは夏日を追い詰めるための罠。
I just noticed her hat.
第一の晩のアリバイを突き詰めていくと、夏日以外の全員にアリバイが現れるのよ。
夏日様は昨べは最初に親族会議を抜けられ、その後はお部屋で一人でお休みでした。お気の毒なことに朝までアリバイが全くありません。
金蔵の存在はすでに否定不能とした。しかし一つだけそれを打ち破る手が敵に残されている。なるほど、夏日を追い詰め金蔵は存在しないと自白させるわけですね。敵の狙いはおそらくそんなあたりよ。親族会議をめぐる駒たちの動きからわらわたちはいち早く夏日の孤立を察知し、その罠に気づき、こうして手を打ったのだ。
死体が消える。全員にアリバイがある。運搬者は存在しない。魔女の存在を主張しつつ、同時に死亡説自体にも疑問を投じることで、夏日をギリギリ容疑者から逃すことができる。
つまり夏日様は第一の晩の犠牲者、実は死んだふりだったと主張することが可能ということです。
Oh, really?
いとこ部屋で大勢がその死
Yeah, there it is. They were just misidentified.
ですか？確認など赤き真実に到底及ばぬ。彼らがいくら確かな死亡を見たと主張しようとも、人間界に赤き真実は存在しない。死体が存在しない以上、夏日は彼らのその言い分を見間違い、取り、もしくは彼らが全員嘘をついているなどで、いくらでも延々と言い逃れが可能なのだ。
赤き真実なき人間界においてはパーペチュアルチェックは最も有効な一
延々と相手を否定し合っての水かける千日手、美しくないわ。
です。しかし美しさとは勝利の先に臨むもの。勝利を得ぬ者が欲すれば毒にしかなりませんよ。
勝てば官軍というでな。
私にとっては美しくなくても、航海者の魔女たちはそれを退屈しないと呼んで好むのかしらね。
なるほど、今回のゲームの流れを把握しました。
I'm just observing.
随分といやらしいものになりそうですね。
百も承知よ。そして私たちはすでに夏日がこれからさらなる罠に誘い込まれるだろうことを知っている。
罠？ラムダデルタ教が生み出す19年前の男を名乗る何者かがすでに夏日を脅迫している。
Yes, but it's not actually a man. It's just Lamb calling the phone. Like this guy doesn't exist.
とある客室のクローゼットの中に入り、息を潜めよと命じているのだ。
Oh wait, 1 p.m. is only a few minutes
クラ
away?
スを人質に取られ、夏日は逆らえん。
Yes. We don't know where Kraus is. He's gone.
必要ですね。かばいきれますか？ 無論よ。何しろ夏日は犯人ではないのだからな。いくら犯人扱いしようとも真実も幻想も我らに味方する。負ける道理などないわ。
Truth and illusions are on our side, just like here. Nocturne. What does nocturne mean? I gotta look that shit up. Of truth and illusion. Damn, bitch. Okay. That's the title, bitch. They dropped the tide. Oh shit, what the fuck? Some cracked. Natsuki threw her cup of black tea to the ground in protest to show the anger that flowed throughout her entire body.
それはどういう意味ですか？私が疑わしいというのですか？
Okay, we're finally here.
先に抜けられて自室に
We're finally at chapter 1 or 0, whatever the fuck it was, the beginning, whatever. We finally caught up. So from here on, we don't know what the fuck happens.
しかしそれを証明していただかないとアリバイにはならないと申し上げてるのです。
証明？どうやって？
Yeah, how the
どうや
fuck?
ってでも結構です。
What do you mean?
客観的にあなたには犯行が不可能だったと証明してもらえれば結構なのです。
Okay, show her her unmade bed,
他
I
の
guess?
皆さんは協力してくださっています。夏志さんもそう邪険にされずどうかアリバイとその証拠を示してもらいたいと思いまして。
Wow, look at her demanding that shit.
夏日姉さんには丸一晩の空白時間があるのよ。先に休むと言って会議を抜けゲストハウスへ行きジョージたちを襲ったかもしれない。
Wow, you really think
バカなことを言わ
that?
ないでください。
Why in the
どうして
fuck?
私がジョージ君を、そして何より自分の娘を殺さなくてはならないというのですか？
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
私たちは等しく疑われている。悲しいけど潔白の証明は各々がしなくては。
ああ、俺たちだって疑いを晴らそうと必死に昨夜のアリバイ立証に頭を悩ませて
Oh
る
my
んだぜ。
god, look at them. Look at the infighting.
夏日さんかて疑われて面白いはずもあらへん。悔しいと思うなら自分の潔白を証明する何かを探すのが先決とちゃうか？
The relatives spoke as though they were all under equal suspicion, but the mood about the place didn't feel so peaceful. Erika was still in the middle of confirming everything, but other than Natsuki, who was unwilling to prove her alibi, everyone else had an alibi, which was reasonably credible. Only Natsuki, who claimed that just being suspected was an insult, was uncooperative with Erika, and her position began to grow more and more perilous. My girl, I hope. What is gonna happen to her? The parlor was no longer a place to comfort for Natsuki's shit, and the sound of the cup smashing had made that decisive.
バカバカしいことです。どうして娘を失った私が疑われるのですか？私が昨夜一人で先に休んだからと犯人と決めつけようとする悪意。こんな屈辱にはこれ以上耐えられません。
I don't want to see my girl like this.
へえ、耐えられなきゃどうするの？あなたの無実を証明するアリバイを何か示してみせなさいよ。そんなものないくせにジョージを返してこの人殺し。
Oh, come down, Ava. Jesus, bitch. Calm the fuck down.
夏日さん、あんたも少し疲れてるんや。もちろんそれはわしらも少し楽にせんか。
だな、俺たちは少し気を張りすぎで。
夏日おばさん、どこ行くんだ？
アリバイ探しも犯人探しも実に滑稽です。台風が過ぎ警察が来れば全てが白日の下にさらされるのです。私たちが探偵ごっこをする理由など何もない。違いますか、エリカさん？
一般論的にはそうですね。
What do you mean general?
ですが私にはそれをする権限がありますので。
What do you mean authority? Who gave her that authority? Yeah, no one asked. It was an authority given by words of power from a higher world, so the pieces weren't even allowed to doubt it.
私は退出します。警察が来るまで皆さんのくだらない問答にも付き合うつもりはありません。私を疑うならどうぞご自由に。それを疑い晴らすことも私は警察に委ねますので。
It may be a bit late to mention this, but, well, no. This happens every time. As usual, the phone couldn't connect to the police. Natsuki said the police would come, but that wasn't exactly true. Strictly speaking, the boat to pick them up would come tomorrow, and they would be able to use the radio on that boat to contact the police. Well, it's not like I'll let everyone live that long anyway. Was that Lamb? Was that Lambda Delta saying that?
いいじゃない。それも立派な証明かもよ。これで夏日姉さんが自室で殺されてたりしたら、それも立派な無実の証明だわ。
Oh, Ava, calm down, bitch. You don't gotta say all
よ
that.
せよ姉貴。夏日さんも俺たちも少し一服した方がいいだろうよ。明日まで体が持たねえぞ。
一服はしても油断はせず。明日どころか今夜も越せないかもしれない。
夏日おばさん、部屋へ帰るならしっかり施錠して、まだも鎧戸を閉めて安全にしてて。
Wait a minute. The second Twilight. The two. Who's the two? Natsuki's one.
誰もいてないとね。そしてそれ以上に、もうこれ以上。
What if Natsuki... What if she finds Kraus and it's... No.
ハリフと働く。
Dude, okay, she's gonna go to a closet, right? If in that closet she finds Kraus, then that would be two, and she would be fucked.
私は部屋に戻る。
She's not gonna go to her room, isn't she? She's gonna go to wherever the fuck she was asked to go.
お客様にせめてこのような状況ではご不自由をおかけしないように。
はい、奥様、心得ております。
With everyone watching her, Natsuki left the parlor. From their faces, she could tell that they were expecting the classic mystery pattern, that the first person to quarrel and leave the circle would become the next victim. I'm expecting that. Natsuki couldn't disobey because of the threat against Kraus, who had been taken as a hostage. Very soon, it would be 1 p.m. What time is it? It's 12:33! Half an hour from now, the time that had been arranged. She was to hide for an hour in the closet of a specified guest room. It was easy to suspect that this bizarre order was a trap to select her as the next sacrifice. Bitch, she thought of various ways to resist, but all methods would be useless against a culprit who had a hostage and was observing her from close by. He did say, but then again, he doesn't exist. He is quite literally Lambda Delta, just disguising her voice. So Natsuki could do nothing but obediently follow his orders, and then claim that she had been forced to do this for her husband's safety. As the arranged time had drawn near, Natsuki had intentionally acted annoyed and smashed the cup on the ground to give her an excuse for slipping out of the parlor. Oh, that was fake? At any rate, no matter how cowardly a trap may be, I cannot disobey now. I am now the one who carries the burden of the one-winged eagle. Now that my husband, Kraus, had been captured, I must protect it, even if I have to crawl through the mud. Of course, I am prepared to do that. I am Ushiromiya Natsuhi. Even if I am not permitted to bear the one-winged eagle on my clothes, Father gave me permission to bear it in my heart. I do remember that. I also remember how Kinzo said, "Oh, Natsuki, if only you were born a man." I don't know what it is about Natsuki that he admires so much, but he did say that. I think dashing away in a rage got me here without raising too much suspicion. So far, everything has gone well. This is such a weird scenario. Before my eyes was the doorknob of the specified guest room. However, I wondered about the lock. The servants are under orders to always lock any unused rooms. What will I do if it's locked? I dashed out of the parlor, pretending that I was returning to my room. Going back and asking a servant to unlock this guest room would be obviously suspicious. If possible, I'd like to get this eerie hide-and-seek over with without anyone noticing. In that phone call from the one who claimed to be a man from 19 years ago. He said that I would win if no one found me, but lose if anyone did find me. He said that he'd release my husband whether I won or lost, but as a person with a hostage ticket against me, I'd rather not lose. I don't like it at all, but I have to go along with this game. This weird ass game. I softly gripped the doorknob, and I could feel that it was unlocked. Did Shannon or Kumasawa forget to lock it after cleaning? Or did that man unlock it in advance? He unlocked it in advance. That man couldn't be waiting for me in this room, could he? And then heal. All that about hide and seek might have been just an excuse. I kept the fact that I was coming here secret, and all of the other people think I'm resting in my room. If I were to be killed in this situation, in this room, it might create a new baffling murder case, like an extension of the one which occurred this morning.
そうならばむしろ好都合です。犯人と直接対決する良い機会ではありませんか。
Natsuki had some experience with using a naginata, but only from casual lessons. Casual lessons. She really used a naginata before? Naginata, I mean? Dude, I didn't know that. That's cool. Unlike Ava, she couldn't brag about being able to hold off any single ruffian indefinitely. As she was now, she had no realistic chance of prevailing over a man with malicious intent on her own, and no weapon that could make that possible. Really? She doesn't have brass knuckles like her daughter? By the way, does Jessica have any like martial arts, like boxing or something? She had brass knuckles. She readied herself and slowly opened the door. She couldn't afford to stand around in the corridor and risk being seen by someone. Ooh. Nice room. All of these rooms are beautiful. The atmosphere inside the guest room was ice cold, and she could sense no trace of a person waiting impatiently for her. All she could hear were the unsettling sounds of the wind and rain. At first, that seemed to be proof that no one existed to threaten her, but before long, it only stirred up the uneasy feeling inside her all the more. The closet was just off to the side of anyone entering the room. Lined up inside it was a set of hangers where guests could hang their coats. This closet, which had nothing hanging in it, was large enough for even an adult to hide in. She softly opened the closet. Of course, there was nothing inside. She would have to hide quietly in here for an hour. The room had a wood floor, but something like a carpet had been laid in the closet. It seemed that sitting down wouldn't be a problem. She had been sure that someone would be waiting for her in this room, or that a strange letter would be lying in the closet. That would be funny. She had even imagined the worst, that her husband's corpse might be inside. I thought that alive, like Krause would be here alive, and they would become the second Twilight. However, none of these things she imagined turned out to be true. All that was here was a cold guest room and a lifeless closet which silently urged her to go inside. Do you have a clock? A watch? Do you know? Can you tell time? There's just a picture of the woods. Natsuki shrugged, turned around, then locked and chained the guest room door. Chained? Oh man, this is a perfect locked room. My girl is she's gonna be killed, isn't she? This would certainly result in a total victory in the hide and seek game against that mystery man. However, it was such an easy victory, it made her feel uneasy. She's gonna die. I hope not. This is normally against the rules of hide and seek. Even if I win, won't this displease the culprits? And everyone thinks I'm in my room right now. If they find a room with a chain set, there will be an impossible locked room to them. Dude, I just came up with something. I just figured something out. I just figured something out. I don't know why it took me until now to realize what is going on. Why did it take me so long to figure this shit out? They're gonna suspect. Okay, Natsuki is gonna be here for an hour, right? They think she's in here in her room, right? Let's say this. Let's just say 2 people get murdered, right? Just 2 people, whoever the fuck. Let's say they go to her room to see if she's there. You know what they're gonna find? Not her. She's not gonna be there. They're not gonna find her for an hour. And then she, an hour later, just shows up out of nowhere. What are they gonna think? This is like the most perfect way to set her up. That's what fucking Lamb is doing. She's setting her up. And that's how we came to in chapter 1 when we got introduced to Erica. She said, that's it, you're the culprit, and this is how it is. What did Rudolph say? There's no other way around it. Dude, oh man, I figured out what's gonna happen. Erica was dashing around the mansion to confirm everyone's alibi. If she noticed that the chain is set on this room, there will probably be an uproar, which will end in them cutting the chain and searching the room. If that happens, I'll be found hiding in the closet right away. It would be easier for me to honestly confess why I was hiding, but that man insisted that I not reveal that. If I tell them, I might be endangering my husband. Thinking of it that way, setting the chain, no, even locking the door might be a bad idea. That's right, this room was unlocked when I came here. If I were to suddenly become locked, it's conceivable that it might catch someone's attention. It's better that if I don't do anything unnecessary. This man only told me to hide. So in the end, I have no choice. I thought I was supposed to read that. I hate doing it, but I can't disobey. I undid both of those 2 precious locks. Went into the dimly lit closet, filled with the smell of old wood, and managed to close the door from the inside. So she undid the locks. Okay, pitch black. It reminded me of when I was young, when I used to hide somewhere and then surprise my mother. But that peaceful recollection wasn't enough to kill off my anxiety. It really is pitch black. From in here, I won't even be able to check my watch to see if an hour has passed. I'll probably need to open the door a crack every once in a while to let in enough light for my watch. For now, I sat down and folded my legs. I thought about holding my knees to my chest, but it hurt my back when I tried. I'm not as young as I used to be. Oh, Natsuki. Even if she is older, I love her. Even though I and the rest of my class were made to sit on the floor, clasping our knees in every PE class as grade schoolers, I now have to struggle to sit down. Oh. Does that happen to everyone? Is that going to happen to me when I get older? Just sitting down here for an hour will probably hurt a lot. I hope not. Oh, my girl, Nazi. Then stand, baby. You don't have to sit down, girl. I fucking love her so much, man. I really do. I really do. Man, why is it? Why? I just love her so much. I can't believe he expects me to sit in the darkness for a full hour, listening only to the wind and the rain. Ironically, Natsuki had made Jessica do the exact same thing in the past. Really? She had done it to scold Jessica's persistent bad habits and teach her a lesson when she was a little girl. She had thought that making Jessica stay put in the darkness would sprout a desire to reflect on her mistakes, and that this way she would understand what she had done wrong. To Natsuki, it almost felt like she was being made to do the same thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If that was the true purpose of this hide and seek. This must be the naivety, the hope that if his goal is to make me repent, nothing will happen here during this hour. Oh yeah, repent for 19 years ago, abandoning it. Uncertainty and fear of that man's shadow are not what I need right now. Will someone suddenly come to this room, open this closet, and do something horrible to me now that I've come here in total secrecy as promised? That's what I should be worried about. The culprit, or one of his accomplices, is very close by. If they weren't, they wouldn't be able to observe me so thoroughly. Or maybe they have a camera. Maybe there's a hole in the closet that they're looking at you from. Just their eye. I don't want to think it, but it's highly likely that the culprit bought off one of the servants. The culprit was able to hide an eerie card with autumn written on it in my room. My personal room is always locked. That trick wouldn't have been possible without a key. Instead of believing that they obtained the key when the servants weren't looking, it's much more realistic to assume that one of the servants lent the culprit a hand. Oh, you're getting into conspiracies, girl.
どうして私の好きな季節が秋だと気持ちが悪い
The thought that this mystery man might be peeking into my heart sent goosebumps running across my whole body. It's true that I like autumn, but I've never said that out loud. I don't think anyone's ever asked me either. I could even ask my husband what my favorite season is, and he would probably be stuck for an answer. No. There was one time I told it to a single person. That's right. Shannon. No, don't suspect her. On an autumn day long ago, I happened to be in a good mood, and I mentioned that autumn was my favorite of the 4 seasons. I can't believe it. Then the culprit, or one of their accomplices, has to be Shannon.
私が秋を好きだというのはシャノンしか知り得ないこと
Are you really gonna blame her?
これはシャノンが関わっているという明白な証拠ではありませんかそれをあの秋というカードが証明しています
Oh, fuck.
なんということ10年にもわたり当家の世話になりながら
No, don't think of that, Natsuki, please. I trembled and shook with rage. Oh my god. Listen, I love both of them. Didn't Ginzo once say that the emotions of anger is the fastest sedative to cure fear and uncertainty? Yeah, I mean, shit. I think so. It's easy to tell the most fearful humans from within a crowd. They're always the first to get angry. I remember him telling me that. So I realized that this anger was a sign that I was actually frightened, and I tried my best to remain calm. However, this is a fascinating clue that I can use to turn things around. Shannon may not be reliable as a servant, but if she's the accomplice used by that mystery man, this might actually be convenient. She's a timid girl. If I threaten her, she'll probably spill the name of the mastermind in an instant. I'll tell the police about this in secret. I'm certain it will be a big clue that will help in arresting the culprit.
あのカードで私を驚かし、うまく手綱を取れたつもりだったのでしょうが、むしろ墓穴を掘ったようですね。
I never told anyone except Shannon that I like autumn. Dude, can everyone just use the red all of a sudden? Why is Natsuki able to use the red? What the fuck? Or she's saying it to herself. This is unshakable proof that she's working with the culprit. Wow. Though I thought this time in the closet would crush me with uncertainty and uneasiness, it had actually given me the start of a counterattack. If I hadn't been given this time in the darkness, I probably wouldn't have noticed this. I felt almost grateful to the culprit for making up this foolish game. My mood brightened. I still couldn't guarantee that my husband was safe, but I was determined to take him back and force the culprit to face judgment. I gripped my fists tightly and further strengthened my resolve. Fuck, why did I skip that? Wait, I skipped that, rattle? To avoid losing this fight at any cost. I'm sorry. At that moment, I heard the sudden sound of someone trying to force a locked door open. My heart leapt. Oh shit. The voice was Hideyoshi's. I heard a quiet voice, as though he was talking to himself, coming from what was probably the hallway. Apparently, he had thought it was locked and tried to unlock it. but it had ended up locking the unlocked door instead. Once again, there was the sound of the lock turning, and this time, the door opened with a faint sound. Wait a minute. Why is Hideyoshi-san in this room? Yes, why is he in this room? What if he's the killer? No, dude, but the fucking theory that I had that the reason she's here is so she could be framed, it will be completely crushed if Hideyoshi finds her. What? Hideyoshi, footsteps which sounded like his came in. There was the sound of him closing and locking the door behind him. Then came what seemed to be the sound of him setting the chain. Don't tell me Hideyoshi-san is the mastermind. Or else an accomplice? Is he planning to do something to me in this room? The door may only be locked from the inside, but it will still take some time to remove the chain. If Hideyoshi-san doesn't intend to let me escape from here, there's no chance he'll give me time to fumble around with the chain. In that case, when he opens the closet door, wide in just a moment, and looks down upon me sitting here pathetically, just what kind of horrifying words will he say? I don't want to be found. I don't want to be found. I beg you, pass right on by the closet door. Please keep going into the center of the room. My head was filled almost to bursting with a throbbing sound so loud that I almost missed hearing his noisy footsteps. So when I heard a clunking sound coming from the center of the room, I finally realized that he passed by the closet and was deeply grieved. Okay, why is he here though? Like, what? As he muttered, he did something that made a clunking sound. Who was probably closing the shutters on the windows. Just in case. In case I try to escape out the window? No, that can't be it. That's right. When I left the parlor, everyone was talking about possibly taking a break. After all, several murders had occurred, and the weather was bad. There would be nothing abnormal about resting in a guest room here instead of returning to the guest house. In that case, locking up and closing the shutters to guarantee safety was a proper course of action to take. When he finished closing the shutters, there was a thud as though he had flopped over on the bed. It was surprising how much of the situation could be grasped just by the sound. What's going on here? Did the man from 19 years ago plan all this out to put me in the same room as Hideyoshi-san? No, that probably isn't true. Clearly, he planned on me hiding here. But Hideyoshi-san coming to take a rest here must have been outside the scope of his plan. Thinking about it that way, having him in the room might help to secure my own safety in an odd sort of way. Unlike his wife, Hideyoshi-san is the kind of person I can talk to. If Eva-san comes, things will probably get complicated. She's an angry girl. Bitch. Maybe I should slip out of this closet now while he's still alone. Reveal everything just to him and ask for help. But if I do that, my husband might be killed. It isn't wise to do anything rash until my husband is released. Should I go out and talk or hide in here? Moaning from my headache and biting my lower lip, I resisted the temptation to crawl out of here. Even if I talk with Hideyoshi-san, I still don't know where my husband is being held. I'm sure the informant who's observing me is nearby as well. Just talking to him won't solve everything. I suspect that Shannon is an informant, but that doesn't mean that Golda and the others aren't. It's no good. Leaving here and confessing is just too dangerous. Eventually, I heard a strange sobbing voice. Whose voice was it? I strained my ears, trying to hear that strange voice, and was shocked to discover that it was Hideyoshi weeping. For George, probably. Now that he was all alone like this, Hideyoshi, who had lost his only son, was finally able to shed tears and cry. Thinking that he needed to support Ava in her distress, he had acted as though he alone was standing firm. However, he had a good right as anyone to cry. And now that he had found a place where no one could see his tears, he was finally allowed himself to let it out. I've lost my daughter too. I haven't seen her body with my own eyes. So it still doesn't really feel like she's dead. But if the one who carried her off was the culprit and had some repulsive motive for doing it, just thinking about it makes me feel as though my chest will tear itself apart. The reason I'm hiding in here now is that I'm thinking more about my still living husband than my dead daughter. But if I were given the chance, I'd be willing at the top of my lungs too. I'd be wailing. However, I still can't let myself do that. That isn't because the man from 19 years ago told me to hide. It's because I am the final head of the Ushiromiya family. It's been completely overshadowed by all of this. But last night, Badale-kun found the hidden gold, and even gained the head's ring from that mysterious envelope. At the very, very end, when it's all over, I probably won't be able to prevent him from inheriting the family headship. And when everything regarding the distribution of the inheritance is revealed, the Ushiromiya family honor and glory passed down from father will plummet to the earth. So, I am the final head. Badale-kun will probably inherit the remaining wealth of the Ushiromiya family. However, its history and honor will end with my generation. Therefore, I am the final head. I must not cry. Not yet. Until I get my husband back and avenge my daughter, I will not be allowed to shed tears. As I listened to Hideyoshi-san's sobs from the closet, I silently hung my head. Huh? My heart leapt. Hideyoshi-san, who must have been lying prostrate on the bed, made a sound as though he had bound to his feet. Did he notice me? Dude, what the fuck? Is Beatrice?
どっから入ったんや。なんやそれ。まさか。
Dude, what the fuck? He was clearly in a struggle with someone. Who could it be? No, it doesn't matter who it is. It's probably the culprit, and they're probably trying to take Hideyoshi-san's life at this very moment. Shouldn't I jump out of here and help him? Even if I couldn't help him, I could at least call for help. No, but if I do something like that, I'll be questioned about why I was hiding here. However, if Hideyoshi-san goes on to get killed now isn't the time to be saying that. At this rate, he'll definitely be killed. I'll jump out of here and help him right now. But if I do that, even if I can save Hideyoshi-san, I might be abandoning my husband's life. Hideyoshi-san's life and my husband's life. How sinful it would be to try to weigh those against each other. Just then, there was a loud sound of the door opening and the chain being pulled tight. Someone was trying to open the door despite the chain being set.
あなた、私よ。開けてくれる？
エヴァ。
あなた？どうしたの？あなた、ここを開けて。
I told you she's being fucking framed. They're gonna break in. They're going to fucking, they're gonna find her in the closet. She opened and closed the door over and over again with all her might, but of course, she couldn't snap the chain. Eva-san raced down the hallway, calling for help in a loud voice. By this time, the room had settled back into silence, and that earlier feeling of Hideyoshi's being in a noisy struggle had disappeared completely. What's going on here? Right now, I'm in the same room as the murderer who killed Hideyoshi-san. In that case, the culprit should try to escape from the room as soon as possible, so why are they staying so quiet in here? I haven't heard anything. Nothing that might have been the culprit who attacked Hideyoshi-san rushing away. No matter how much I strain my ears, I can't sense anyone in the room. In fact, it's so silent that it makes what happened just a second ago feel like an illusion. In other words, does this mean that the culprit is holding his breath, standing right in front of this closet, waiting for me to shamelessly come out? I don't even know what to be scared of anymore. If only I could just melt away into the darkness of this closet. I mustn't remain in this room any longer. I get the feeling I have more to worry about than just my personal safety. But what should I do? I don't even know if it's a good idea to leave this closet. Before long, the clamor of many rushing footsteps approached. I held my breath again and melted away into the darkness of the closet. Ava dashed back, bringing everyone with her. Golda was gripping a bolt cutter. It was to cut the chain with. After trying to open the door again and confirming that the chain was still set, she yelled through the crack in the door.
あなた、今ここ開けるわ。早くそれで切断して。
はい。
Golda stuck the large bolt cutter, which looked like it could slice off whole fingers, into the crack in the door and easily sever the chain. As soon as it was severed, Ava pushed Golda aside and dashed in. The others tried to follow her, but they bumped into Ava, who had fallen into her knees, moaning. So even though they couldn't tell much of what was going on inside the room, they could tell by Ava's moans that they were too late.
なんてこった。
南條先生、主人を見て、早く。
今見ます。
嘘だろ。秀吉おじさんが休むって出てって10分かそこいら経ってのに。
お風呂場には誰もいない？
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
もおりません。
Uh-oh.
なんということでしょう。
あなた！あなた！
残念だが手の施しようがない。
Dude, I don't like the way they're fucking. Oh, they really sent my... Nanjo stood up, hanging his head sadly. It was only natural, because anyone, even if they weren't a doctor, would think that at a glance. Hideyoshi was lying face down on the bed, and stuck deep into his back was something like a blade with an intricate demonic design on it. When Ava pulled it out with all her might, they could tell it wasn't a blade, but some kind of stake. And its sharp tip had penetrated nearly 15 centimeters in. It had probably dug deep into the lungs. If it had been stuck in any harder, the tip might even have pierced all the way through to the surface of his chest.
だから待っててって言ったのに。どうして一人で先に行っちゃったのよ。バカ。
多分犯人は俺たちが油断してばらけるのを待ってたんだろうな。
ちくしょうめ、まだ血が足りねえってのかよ。
やはりこの屋敷のどこかに隠れていて私たちを狙っているのでしょうか。
それよりおかしいわ。この部屋は戸締まりが完璧なの。
確かに鎧でも全て閉まってますし、扉にはさっきまでチェーンが。
それはおかしいではありません。それじゃ犯人はどうやってこのお部屋の秀吉様を襲ったというんですか。
扉の隙間からこの杭を投げて刺したのか。
その隙間から秀吉さんのベッドは完全に死角よ。銃を使ったって殺せやしない。おかしな話になると密室殺人。
They fucking love these locker room shits.
そうと決めつけるのは早いぜ。風呂場の天井を外して天井裏に逃げた。あるいは鎧戸が実は外からでも閉められるかもな。
鎧戸は外からはびくともしませんでした。今確認してきました。
エリコ。
It was no wonder everything felt so quiet and relaxed. At some point, Erica had split from the group. Just now, she had finally arrived and poked her face in from the hallway. She had heard that a crime had occurred in this room, seen everyone rushing towards it, and taken the opposite approach by circling around to the outer wall. And she had gone all by herself to check that the shutters were down on the windows, so that you couldn't do anything with them from the outside. And that there was nothing out of the ordinary.
室内を案の定お約束で。
そういう言い方はねえだろ。
お悔やみ申し上げます。で、室内の状況は？
扉にはチェーンがかかっていて、私たちは切断して入った。
そして窓には全て鎧がある。しっかり内側から施錠されてる。
奥は何を揉めてるんです？
Ava was arguing with Nanjo about something. Apparently, she wanted to carry the body to the parlor. Nanjo tried to calm her, saying that they should leave the crime scene as untouched as possible until the police came.
ジョージたちの死体はそうしたらどうなったの？犯人にどこかへ持っていかれちゃったのよ。犯人は殺すだけじゃ飽き足らず、遺体にまで何か無体なことをするつもりなのかもしれない。だからダメ。ここへ主人を一人ぼっちで残していくなんて絶対ダメ。
Ava didn't have a point. After all, the prior victims were all carried away after we were shown their terrible and fatal wounds.
エリカちゃん、現場をそのままで保存しといて。今回はちょいと折れてもらうぜ。
どうぞご勝手に。
What? They're asking her for permission?
私にとって興味があるの
The
は
hell is going on
木
here?
村さんの書斎よりはるかにまともな密室が出現したことだけです。死体には興味ありませんので、どうぞご自由になさってください。
Battler looked at her with an expression of clear disgust, but it rolled off her like water off a duck's back.
搬出していただいて結構ですよ。死体。あ、それとも私が邪魔ですか？
Erica backed away from the door to open a path. There was no trace of any sadness for the dead. Her eyes simply blazed at the thought of this locked room murder that had appeared. In any event, the great detective had given her permission. Ava and some others wrapped Hideyoshi's body up in the sheets, and Golda and Rudolph started to carry him out. The sheets quickly turned red. It was so painful to see that Shannon and Kumasawa stripped the blanket off the bed to further cover the body.
え、どいてますよ。
100枚運ぼう。
はい。
あなた。
Oh boy. Let's see what happens. I saw what happened when Ava loses her fucking... Well, no. Never mind.
いいことだ、みんな。これからは常に団体行動。絶対に孤立してはダメ。
犯人は源氏さんを襲った時点でマスターキーを得ているはずだ。施錠がもはや安全を保証しないことは明白だぞ。
しかしチェーンまでされていたのにどうやって？
不可能だ。鎧戸もチェーンロックにしっかりかかってる。マスターキーがあったってあの部屋に押し入るのは不可能だ。
ベアトリーチェ様の仕業ですよ。
ベアトリーチェ様のはずありません。気分は解かれ、すでに意識の意味を失われたはず。
わかるものが魔女にしか不可能だ。
魔女にしか不可能ですか？いい響きです。
エリカちゃん、話を聞いてる？私たちはこれから全体行動って決まったわ。私たちはまず秀吉さんの遺体を客前へ。探偵ごっこはそれからにしよう。
She's telling her off. When she heard the words playing detective, Erica grimaced visibly. She's not playing, she is. Then, after everyone had filed out, she took a single step into the now empty guest room, looked around, and burned the scene into her eyes. Erica claimed to have a photographic memory. If that was true, those few seconds were more than enough for her. Later on, she could sip black tea in the parlor while pursuing her mental photographs of the crimes and enjoying playing the part of the armchair detective. Oh, this sounds like fun. Then suddenly her eye stopped on the closet off to the side. A closet for hanging overcoats. If it was large enough to fit a coat on the hanger, A person should be able to hide in it. Slowly, Erica stretched her hand out towards the closet. Alright, bitch. If you're gonna do it, just do it! Erica's shoulder was grabbed roughly from behind.
行くぜ探偵さん。団体行動を乱すなって修学旅行に習わなかったか。
私が旅行に行くと必ず人が死ぬってお約束がありまして。
ほら、何してやがるガキども。早く来い。
Come on. Rudolph told him to hurry. After clicking her tongue and glaring at the closet, Erica followed a battler back to the parlor for the time being. Right. Damn, my girl was saved. The sound of their footsteps finally faded. That time of terror, when I feared that even the dripping of the cold sweat that covered my cheeks might be noticed, was finally over. I slowly opened the closet door with hands that still couldn't stop trembling and dashed out into the hallway. It's alright, no one's found me. Still, it's a good thing they didn't lock the door. If they had, I wouldn't be able to lock behind me after I left, and they'd find that suspicious. Anyway, I should leave this place. Then I'll return to my room and pretend that I was sleeping the whole time. That's right, I have to get back quickly. A new murder has occurred. They'll probably try to tell me about it, and they'll probably do it immediately after they carry Hideyoshi-san's body back to the parlor. I can get around a phone call by saying that I was asleep and didn't notice, but if they come knocking directly, that'll be bad. I have to get back quickly before they try to force their way in. Too late. I don't even know whether I should sprint back noisily to save every second I can, sneak back with hushed footsteps, or walk around normally as though I don't know anything has happened. The one thing I'm certain of is that I have to avoid bumping into them on their way back to the parlor. I have to get to my room at a quick pace without being noticed by anyone. I pass through the hall to the lobby. Once I've ascended the main staircase in the lobby, I'll almost be there.
Natsuhi-san?
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Just as she was about to go up the large staircase, Natsuhi heard Erica call out to her, and was so surprised that she visibly jumped.
ちょうど今からあなたにも知らせに行こうと思ってたんです。
それはありがとうございます。それで何かありましたか？
今、Natsuhiさん階段を登ってました。Natsuhiさんの部屋って上ですよね。
Erica coldly pointed out this strange fact. Natsuhi cursed her bad luck.
寝つけなくて客間に戻ろうとしていたのですが、自分の部屋に鍵をかけたか不安になり戻ろうとしたのです。心配性なのでよくあることです。気にしないでください。
ああ、よくありますよね、そういうの。記憶力に自信のない人にありがちな癖です。
Erica was clearly making fun of her, and Natsuhi might have put on an annoyed expression under normal circumstances. However, right now, Natsuhi was extremely relieved to hear Erica admit that this was nothing out of the ordinary.
エリカさんこそお一人でどうしたんですか？
例の客室を調べようかと思いまして。
客室？
ええ、大変なことになったじゃないですか。現場検証は私の権利ですので。
Erica's probing gaze peered deep into Natsuhi's eyes. She could tell. Erica was already suspicious of Natsuhi. Judging by the subtle nuances of her words, this was almost certainly an attempt to make Natsuhi slip up and reveal that she knew about the Hideyoshi murder she hadn't yet been told about. Natsuhi played dumb and asked again what had happened.
逆を言えば私が自室にいなかったことをあなたこそどう証明されるわけですか。
おや、そうきましたか。ならばそれはおいおい、鍵は後にしてください。皆さんに重大な話があります。
鍵を確認したら戻ります。先に始めていてください。
秀吉さんが殺されました。その件についてです。
She had planned on escaping to her own room using her lock as an excuse, claiming to have a sudden headache and staying in bed for the rest of the time. However, now that she had been informed of Hideyoshi's murder, it would be clearly suspicious to say that could wait and escape to her room. She was already under suspicion after being seen heading up the stairs to the second floor. She couldn't afford to do anything else suspicious. Natsuki gave up and headed for the parlor as Erika had urged her to do. When she opened the door to the parlor, Ava's sobs poured out, and everyone stared at Natsuki with grave faces. Those gazes almost made it look as though they suspected her. Yes, this frail woman, somehow gonna have the strength to fight. You know what? She can easily prove her innocence, and I'll tell you why. There's this thing called, what is it called? Evidence of a struggle, I think it's called, something like that. She doesn't have a thing on her body. There is no gashes, no blood on, nothing. If she killed Hideyoshi, wouldn't you expect to see some of that? I mean, I think that's a pretty easy proof, and it just literally just happened. She couldn't have changed her fucking clothes. She wasn't in her room, by the way. Fucking Erika just saw her, so she couldn't have committed the murder. There we go, bitch. I cleared my fucking girl's name. It was now painfully apparent to Natsuki. This must have been what that man was after. It was a trap to create a baffling locked-room murder and frame her for it. But I couldn't disobey. I couldn't sacrifice my husband's life. And while it's true that I was hiding in the closet, that was all. I haven't committed murder. I might fall under enormous suspicion, but I'm still not the culprit. And most importantly, I'm not under suspicion yet. I'll tell the police everything. I have to endure until then. I'm sure one of the servants is feeding information to the culprits. Even in a situation like this, if I talk about my husband being a hostage, the culprit will hear, and he might be used as an excuse to kill him.
ちょうど夏日さんが戻ってきてくれました。全員が揃ったところで、私から皆さんにとても重要な話があります。
重要な話？
重要な話です。最初の事件からをすべて皆さんの前で整理したいと思います。
それなら他の皆さんとなさってください。私はそういうことは警察に任せるべきと思っています。関心がありません。
整理した上で重要なお話があるのです。あなたにも誰にも断る権利はありません。
Oh, who are you to say that? Who made you the boss? Also, I know what's gonna happen. I already know what's gonna happen. I fucking predicted it, bitch. Erika used her detective's authority to proclaim the start of an assembly. Ouch, an assembly? None of the pieces could disobey. Praying that she wouldn't become the topic of conversation, Natsuki reluctantly sat on the sofa as she'd been urged to.
すみません。その扉閉めてもらえます？
はい。
Oh boy, this is about to go down. Shannon and Kanon closed the door. Since they had just now decided to lock all doors and windows carefully, Kanon locked it as well. The lock, which existed to protect the safety of this room, felt like a lock on a prison cell to Natsuki, one that would hold her there and prevent any escape. Natsuki still hadn't noticed that ever since Erika left into the corridor to go check the crime scene in Hideyoshi's room, her goal had changed. In short, from Erika's point of view, the sound of that lock was truly... Wow. Erika said that suddenly. Bernd Castell said that suddenly.
あら早い。何？もう犯人分かっちゃったの？まだ事件だって全然進んでないのよ。 少し殺させていろいろと手がかりを集めればいいのに。
さあラムダ、すべての駒を集めなさい。ここからが一番面白いんじゃない。思い切り楽しみましょう、お互いにね。
どうかしらね。お手並み拝見といくわよ。
24時のゲームセットを待たずにもう仕掛けてきたとはな。ベルンカステル教め、気の早い御仁。
相当の早時間ですが、この段階でもう勝てる算段があ
普段なら魔女の存在を主張するだけで勝てるけど、今回は夏日や金蔵や守るものが多いわ。面倒な戦いになりそうね。面倒な戦い、大いに望むところよ。わらわの黄金の島でこれ以上の好き勝手はさせぬわ。受けて立とうぞ、ベルンカステル教フルドエリカ。
Fuck, man, what is gonna happen? In the Golden Land, the endless rain continued to fall. Maybe the rain is welcomed by Beatrice, right? It can only... Battler was nowhere to be seen. It would very soon reach the time when Battler had joined in on the 5th game. Yes! And control of his piece would be passed on to him. In other words, only now, in this final stage of the game, when Bernkastel had pinpointed the culprits, was Battler finally going to be allowed to participate. And he had left the arbor a short while ago for that reason. Now the only ones in sight were Virgilia, who continued to knit silently, and Beato, who just sat there blankly amidst the smell of her black tea, not even putting the cup to her lips. Virgilia stopped knitting for a moment and looked out across the vast golden rose garden that extended as far as the eye could see.
バトラ君は誰が犯人云々というだけのゲームなら、もう二度と屈することのない力を身につけたと言えるでしょう。第4のゲームまでであなたは全てのメッセージを彼に伝えています。つまりバトラ君はいつでも全ての真実に気づいてもよいということです。
What? Hold on, no. I want to read that again. I want to read that again. He possesses all the tools to reach the truth at any moment?
しかし彼には甘えがある。だからこのままゲームを幾百と続けたとしても永遠に解けはしない。
Ah, what do you
まる
mean?
で青い鳥を探すかのように永遠にさまよい続けるだけ。
And that, Beatrice, goes for you as well. Even if you play this game hundreds more times, you will never arrive at the answer you seek. Bernkastel will abuse this game without a doubt. Lambda Delta will also churn this game about with the utmost arrogance. And at a glance, that may be humiliating and appear to you and Battler as though the game had been stolen from you. The game has been stolen for you. However, that is something the two of you need right now, to bring an end to Battler's weak side, to bring an end to your hesitation. Huh?
だからあなたはあの二人を呼んだのです。あなたたちの永遠の拷問を終わらせるため。
So Beatrice invited Bern and Lamb here? Okay, she wanted this to happen.
あの二人はあなたに勝利か敗北のいずれかを与えるでしょう。しかしそれはいずれであってももはや慈悲に満ちたものです。あなたにももうそれは分かっているはず。
Virgilia faced Beato, whom she had come to adore like a daughter, with cold eyes that she must not have shown often. It was like the gaze of a mother who, instead of scolding, silently urged their child to recognize their mistakes.
ベアトリーチェ、あなたはいつまでそうして生きるでもなく死ぬでもなく、天国に昇るでもなく地獄に落ちるでもなく、煉獄山の頂上でぼんやりとしているつもりなの。私は悪気で彼を煉獄山に案内し、頂上のあなたのところまで連れてきました。そしてあなたはベアトリーチェ、彼の手を取って天国へ昇るか、彼を抱いて地獄へ落ちるか選ばなくてはならない。
Did you know that the tribulations of purgatory, which lies in the gap between heaven and hell, are sometimes more torturous than even hell itself? On the gates of hell, it is written that you must abandon all hope. A human without hope can accept their suffering and give up. However, the denizens of purgatory have hope. A hope of possibly reaching heaven, a hope that cannot be abandoned. And that tortures them. Even in the depths of hell, no greater torture device exists than the single pin known as hope.
飛びなさい、煉獄の崖より。淡く脆くてくだらない希望の未練ごとパンドラの箱を開け放ってしまいなさい。怖いでしょう。箱を開けるのは。
Beato was silent, but with a single tear, she nodded slightly.
箱の中の猫は生きているのか、それを確かめる時が来ました。死んでいる猫ならば早く供養して天に昇ってもらいなさい。生きている猫ならば早く餌を与えて全ての愛情を注いであげなさい。生き死にに関係ない。あなたの猫箱は猫を永遠に冒涜しています。あなたが開くことを恐れた箱の鍵をあの二人が持ってきてくれましたよ。
Beatrice, the time has come for you to die. I hope that your heart will be stopped by the hand of the person you desire. What do you mean by desire? Hold on. So she brought those two here. Damn, bitch, we going fucking far in the future. Oh, shit. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, that's creepy. Yo, dude, man, oh man, this makes me want to play the next chapter. Next chapter is gonna be 3 hours long, by the way. Is my shit glitching, or is this supposed to play double? All of the pieces from the game board were gathered. Where the fuck, dude? Oh my, Predator? Where the fuck are, dude, oh my god. From that little bit, I already know that next chapter is going to be fucking crazy. Not only that, but the time. It's gonna be 3 hour long chapter. That's number one. Number two, the music that I just heard and the fucking background, the art that I just saw was crazy as hell. Yo. So Beatrice brought Lambda Delta and Bernkastel here so that they could either kill her or do something else to unlock the key, quote unquote, whatever that's supposed to mean. And Battler, us, the viewer, we also have all the pieces we need to solve every game, I think, or something like that. But Battler has a weak side. I'm sure I have a weak side as well. That's not letting us fully, kill Beatrice? Holy shit.